Hello world! Today we're out here at the range, at my local gun range. We're not in the dungeon, because today I'm going to be doing my review out in the nice summer air. Finally got a nice weather day, no rain, no cold, no hot, no extreme heat. It's a perfect day, so I figured we'd do this outside. And today is going to be a review on the Ruger PC carbine. I don't normally review rifles because I just can't get them to be on camera right, but since I'm outside, I don't mind the confinements of having to film part of the gun at a time as much. Of course, on this carbine, I do have a bipod that does not come standard. That's just something I added, and it is a breakdown variant carbine. What's interesting about this carbine is that it's a 9mm and it fires Glock magazines. There's an insert in here which allows you to fire the Ruger magazine or a Glock magazine. And it is a 9mm carbine. Additionally, I have another gun. This is going to be a double review. I don't mean to put them head to head and compare them or anything, or say one is better than the other. It comes down completely to preference. I just happen to have the two guns and they're so similar, why not view them both? I have the Kel Tec 9mm folding carbine. It is the sub 2000 Kel Tec, and it has the same basic ideology. It is firing Glock magazines. It's compact. It's got rails on it, just like this one does, for mounting sights and whatnot. Charging handle on the rear. Has the same style of button safety, though the purpose of this video is not to place both firearms against each other, but rather to just allow them to share the same spotlight, because why not? And I'm going to load up these magazines, and we're going to see how they fire. Alrighty then, first we're going to be firing the Ruger PC, which in 9mm. This is a 21 round magazine. Right next to me, if you see that sign, it says shotgun area only. That's for that area, not this area. I actually am standing on the rifle range. So first we're going to put our ears in, safety first. I do have targets downrange, but this range only allows paper targets, so I'm not going to be filming them because they're not very interesting. If I ever get to a range which allows me to shoot water bottles, then you'll start seeing some stuff pop and explode and things. So the charging handle is ambidextrous, and I've moved it to the left-hand side for my own personal convenience. Safety off. Firing. Magazine's clear. Gun's clear. Alrighty then. Okay. Now I'm going to be firing the Kel Tec weapon. It is also a 21 round magazine. Can't really load it into the gun while it's folded, I guess. Or maybe it's just stubborn. Either way, unfolding the gun. Magazine's a little stiff to load in while fully loaded, but that's true of most firearms. Chamber's hot. Safety off. See how it plays. Magazine's empty. Chamber's clear. Safety's back on. Alrighty then. That was fun. Okay then. We're back here down in the dungeon. We have the Kel Tec fold out or fold down or break down or whatever you want to call it. Carbine and 9mm. Safety first, it's cleared. We also have the Ruger PC carbine. The reason I had these guns together at the range was just I was filming them together. They're so similar, why not give them the same video, same spotlight, because it'll be a quick video either way. Either one quick video or two quick videos, that was my choice, and I chose one instead. So let's talk about these two guns and their pros and cons against each other if you were to decide between these rifles, which I didn't decide between them, I just picked them both. So let's start with the Kel Tec. The Kel Tec weighs approximately 5 pounds. It folds up and takes Glock 9mm magazines. The folding action is located right here on its trigger guard. They've actually used the trigger guard itself as a tool or as a button or indicator for the gun. I'd love to see that on more firearms where the trigger guard itself is what drops the magazine or is what actuates the weapon to do something. It folds up into a convenient little case which could fit inside of a lot of things I didn't know it could fit into. When people say backpack guns, they usually mean a backpack you buy specifically for a gun, but this really is a backpack gun. I could stick this into any case, fully loaded with a magazine to fit into it. And the magazine would be secure, it would be well concealed into the grip. And it's not a small magazine. I think this is a 15-round magazine. So this is a great gun for being a small compact gun. The charging handle is on the bottom buffer tube kind of thing. The spring is back behind the bolt, and back here is the charging handle, which you can slap with your right hand if the gun's outfolded. You outfold the gun, show how that works. So, for a creative design of a firearm that I've never seen its like before, this is incredible. Of course, these rails are somewhat useless if you're going to keep it into its folded up position. You can't put a sight on it or anything, but you could probably put a grip, though you'd be increasing its profile. If you're willing to detach those things, obviously you could stick them in the bag with you. But that's the Kel Tec. It's a neat gun. It's got a threaded barrel. The sights I love. I love these style of sights. Very big, very broad, but somehow compact. Its safety is a button safety, and it's very, you can actually hear it, it's very firm. It takes a lot of pressure to actuate it on or off, which I love. I don't like safeties that slip on when you don't want them to or slip off when you don't want them to. The stock's not much to say. It's just a basic plastic stock, no padding of any kind, and being only 5 pounds, this thing, it kicked me. I'm not going to lie, it kicked me pretty hard. So, let's move on to the Ruger. The Ruger, when I weighed it without its bipod, I took the bipod off for weighing, it weighed 8 pounds. This is an 8-pound gun without the bipod. Or at least it seemed 8 pounds. My scale might be a little off, but so that's 5 pounds for the Kel Tec and 8 pounds for the Ruger PC carbine. It is, of course, a breakdown, which in order to break it down, you need to have... Oh, I gotta borrow this magazine. You have to have a magazine in the gun to break it down, because you need to lock back the bolt. The bolt's kind of tricky to lock back if you don't have a magazine. If you don't have a magazine, you gotta fiddle with this thing, and I usually just can't do it when I'm on camera. It breaks apart, and what I found is that this is definitely not a backpack gun. When I make fun of backpack guns and say they're for the specifically designed backpacks, this thing is not for a specifically designed backpack. This itself is way lengthier than this thing. It's way bulkier too, and it's about just as heavy. So these together would have to fit inside of a case comfortably and not bang into each other or rattle around. Not to mention the magazine couldn't properly be stored in here, because even on this small magazine you can see it's sticking out and increasing the profile a little bit. So you're going to have to get a smaller magazine in there. And if you want your 30 round, you're just going to have to pop that puppy out. So all of these will be rattling around in your case together. So this is a portable case gun. It's not really a backpack gun. If you had the specific backpack for it, maybe, but I'm just not seeing it. Of course, this also has a threaded barrel. It also has a button safety, which I love those button safeties if they're very firm, very... Even though I'm not a fan of safeties in general, I want them to be firm and hard to put on or off unknowingly. Which this one you have to know that you're doing it because it's very clicky. It's not as firm as that one, and the button's not as big, so I'm not quite as big a fan of it, but this gun is much more comfortable to shoot. Even ignoring the bipod, it's got a rubber base plate. The gun's full length is a little longer, the gun's a bit meatier in the hand, and of course it handles the recoil better, those extra pounds. I think it's about 3 pounds more than the Kel Tec, and that you can feel it on your shoulder as you're firing it. The sights are a little smaller, but they're in the same style as the Kel Tec. They're the nice broad, I'm going to point the gun at the camera, don't be too threatened. As you can see, those sights are they're just the perfect AK style sights. I can't remember what they're called. I'm sure I'll remember the second the camera's off. But it's a great gun, I love it. Its charging handle is ambidextrous. I could take it off with an Allen wrench and stick it onto the other side if I wanted to. But I actually like it on the left side. It just makes it easier when reloading. And yeah, both these guns are great guns. I'm very happy I bought them. The price on the Kel Tec was around, I want to say, shoot, I got a deal on it, so I don't actually know what you'll have to pay for it, but what I paid for it was around $400-ish. And same with this one, is they both have similar prices. I paid around $400-ish for this one, brand new. I paid around $400-ish for that one, brand new. And it's just because the gun stores around my area are very competitive. They're very good capitalist stores, so they usually are able to get their prices very low. Which you've probably seen on my channel, I have a lot of guns, so props for them. And if you wonder why I'm not blocking the logo on this t-shirt like I usually do, normally I never do free advertising, but since they gave me the shirt when I bought the guns, I bought this one from a different store. This one I brought is where I got the Kel Tec from, and they gave me their shirt. And they kind of hinted that I would wear it during the video if you didn't mind, and I'm like, alright, sure, I'll wear it during the video. So, no problem. But they're fantastic firearms. I love owning them. I love having them. If you had to choose between them, I would choose them based on your necessity. If you need a lightweight firearm that's going to kick a little harder and be stored very tightly, like if you're going camping, fishing, hunting, whatever, I'd suggest this big guy. If you want something that's more comfortable, with a bipod, a lot of attachments, and something that's a bit more meaty, I'd pick this guy. Of course, if you're me, I'd pick both of them. They're fantastic firearms, and I just love having them. So for now, this is Timber 22, and I'll be going to be saying bye-bye.